It has. They built a little bit of a lead, a service error. The ball goes to Hawaii at this point. And Danny Mafua, the setter for this team, the junior out of Oahu, is going to serve. Mafua was a hitter originally. Dave Shoji saw her hands, he calls them Hawaiian hands, and said, I want her running my offense. That attack attempt from Carly Bruck goes long.
When you talk about Mafua, that's a very difficult thing to do, especially at this level, to not have been a setter really her whole career, just her senior year, and to learn this offense and be able to run it at this level. Took her a couple years to really get the hang of it, but she has got the hang of it now, an outstanding setter.
An outstanding hit again from Alex Hunt, number 8 in yellow.
Well, Hunt has been playing terrific in the NCAA tournament. She actually is leading the team offensively, and she's been very difficult to stop. I think during the Big Ten season, teams sort of adjusted to her left-handed out there and learned how to deal with her, but teams that haven't seen her before really have a hard time adjusting.
Speaking of adjustments, Hawaii's pass looks like it's struggling really.
Well, we knew that was going to be a key coming in. Michigan serves extremely tough, and right now they are winning that battle in terms of the serving and passing. Michigan hasn't always taken advantage of it, but as the match progresses, if Hawaii continues to struggle, it's going to limit what they can do offensively, and it's going to be a huge advantage for Michigan.
If you're maybe a football fan new to the sport of volleyball, in football you have to stop the run. First thing, in volleyball you have to pass the ball. Must pass the ball in order to play good volleyball, similar to stopping the run.
Well, again, we talk about passing problems. Here's another issue here. A bad pass leads to a bad play for Hawaii and another point for Michigan.
6 errors so far from Hawaii. Are they going to be able to recover? Stay with us. That first set will continue. Michigan leads by a score of 12-8. Welcome back. Looking at Mark Rosen, the coach of Michigan, leading this first set by a score of 12-8. He's done incredible things with this program. Kathy?
Well, he has. He's taken them to new highs. Obviously, the last 3 years have been the best of his career. Most wins since '81 and '07, '08. They got to that round of 16. Obviously, here they're at the Elite 8 and hoping to work their way even further into that national semifinal.
This Michigan team is not necessarily a surprise this year either. I mean, they took Penn State to 5 sets. They're the only team to do that this year. They are the real deal, and they have been strong all year long. Kill from Stephanie Farrell, number 1 of Hawaii.
And they would love to see Stephanie Farrell have a great night. Last night set a career high with 19 kills in their win over Illinois. She's pretty inconsistent, can be up and down, and they would really like tonight to be another up for her.
Yeah, if you're going to peak, this is a great time to peak. Certainly 19 kills. She was a big impact player last night. Outside again to Farrell. High off hand, she's having an impact early.
And that's a great swing, and what Stephanie Farrell needs to be doing is swinging high. You can see that block is right in front of her, does a great job of getting up high. That's a big-time swing by Stephanie Farrell.
Her second kill of the night. Amber Kaufman serves. Lexi Zimmerman pushes it out, but Paz puts a little too much on it and brings it down on her own side.
Well, that just gives you an idea of how outstanding Lexi Zimmerman is. That is a tight ball, one-handed set, and she actually gets a pretty good set and isolates Juliana Paz on the outside, but Paz cannot put that one away.
Where would you put Zimmerman in terms of setters nationally that you've seen this year?
I think she and Alicia Glass are the 2 best that I have seen. I think Alicia Glass, does what she does very well and is setting Penn State at a very high level. But I tell you what, Lexi Zimmerman, not that far behind. She is really fantastic. Take a look at that replay, hoping for a touch off that defender's arms, but did not get one.
Zimmerman goes for the middle. Mafua pushes it outside to Farrell. Back to Kubio Teneru. Bomber from Kubio Teneru.
I don't know what Dave Shoji said to his team at that timeout, but they were down 12-8, 5 quick points for Hawaii.
Hawaii takes the lead, 13-12. Don't go anywhere. This set is just heating up. Michigan has a lot of great fans here cheering on their team, but Hawaii has just gone on a 5-0 run. Bring them back into this set. Dave Shoji, over 1,000 career wins. He's been here before.
He has. He is one of the coaches that, like I said, everybody knows Dave Shoji. He's been around for a long time, 35 years. Got over 1,000 wins this year, so that was a huge milestone.
In our In our preparations today, I asked him, have you coached the mothers of any of these women on your team? At 35 years, he said, no, I could have, but no, I've coached some sisters. But it's feasible. They're that long. This point goes to Michigan. They break that spell. $13 all in the first set. Maggie Bush, the junior out of Toledo, Ohio, serving. Her dad was a football player at Toledo. She's got a very athletic family. Everybody's playing volleyball, swimming all over the place. Cubio Tenero, athletic, pushes that block away, and a point, Hawaii.
Aneli Cubio Tenero, 3-time first team all WAC, all 3 years she's been at Hawaii. So she is an outstanding player and just understands how to play the game. Very complete. Hits one hard down the line last time. This one takes a little bit off of it, goes more in the seam, and gets it through that Michigan block.
Paz, big attack. And then Hawaii's Brittany Hewitt goes wide.
Well, Hawaii is waiting for that 2-set from Michigan. They had a big double block up on that, so there's no surprises there. We saw Michigan use the 2-set effectively against Stanford last night, but Hawaii obviously ready for that play.
There's a pass from Mafua to work with. Oh, and a nice kill from Brittany Hewitt.
Well, Brittany Hewitt, one of the things she does well is she's very good off one foot. It's one of the developments in volleyball over the last 7 to 8 years, really using this 1 foot takeoff. You can see she's very effective with it, uses her explosiveness and her high reach to put that down.
Lexi Zimmerman calls her own number for the first time and second time. Tonight, she tacks that ball a little long.
Well, talking to Coach Mark Rosen before the game, he said what's good about Lexi Zimmerman sometimes is bad about Lexi Zimmerman, that she can be really aggressive, which she loves, but sometimes leads to maybe poor decisions and hitting errors.
Well, they get the ball right back with a service error from Stephanie Brandt. Usually a very tough server for this team, Stephanie Brandt, but sent that one a little bit long, and the ball goes to Juliana Paz, the senior out of Brazil, via Iowa Western Community College. Spent a couple of years there. She's a member of the All Big Ten team. Gets a tough serve and gets a free ball back. And Alex Hunt puts it away, the lefty on the left side.
Alex Hunt originally was an opposite or a right side for Michigan, but got her opportunity on the left when they needed someone out there, and she has stuck because of swings like that. Does a great job of hitting it deep over the defender's head and into that corner.
A kill from Aneli Cubio Tenero.
It's a big-time back row attack swing. She brought out the heat on that one.
Cubio Tenero had several hundred family members show up for senior night in Hawaii. It's kind of a big family, 4 sisters, but there's a lot of cousins. That ball long from Veronica Rude. And Hawaii is building a little bit of a lead late in the match as they lead 18-16 in set 1.
Michigan just been a little bit careless with some swings. That was not an attack you're probably going to get a kill on. It's a little bit off the net. It's a ball you just have got to keep in play and let your team work with their defense and block.
What a save by Lexi Zimmerman. Looked like a set. Mafua outside. Oh, there's Kanani Danielson. Just when it looks like everything's going fine, Kanani Danielson comes in and makes her presence known.
She had an open net there. Zimmerman was so far off the net because of the great save. Couldn't put up a very good block, and Danielson shows her explosiveness.
Men's college basketball continues on ESPNU tomorrow night as the 19th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats face the Xavier Musketeers. Men's college basketball on ESPNU and ESPNU HD tomorrow at 7 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. For those new to the sport of volleyball, you may wonder why there's a player on each team wearing a different colored jersey. Kathy, explain.
Well, we'll talk about the position, the libero. And the libero has certain things they can do and can't do. They are a designated defensive player. So the first thing, they can go in and out of the game without stopping and doing the traditional rotation into the game. So that speeds up the game. They do wear the different colored jerseys, so the officials will know who they are. They can serve, which is great, but their role basically is as a defensive and passing specialist.
Well, there you look at Sloan Dunoff, the sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky. See those digs? 541 digs this season. That's her job. Much like it's our job to talk She digs.
It is.
That's the job for her. Here's Liz Kayahue. She has 398 digs so far this season. She introduced the lineup. You may remember her smiling very loose before the match.
We've got two outstanding liberos here tonight. So for those of you who maybe aren't going to grow to be 6 feet tall, as most of these offensive players are these days, this is where your role could potentially be as a libero.
We have a spot for you on the floor, exactly.
That's what I love about the rule, is that it really has opened up the game to the players who are not as tall. They still can have a huge impact, because in the old days, you could only be in 3 rotations, and you had to sit 3 rotations. Now they get to play all 6 rotations.
What a save. Stephanie Brandt came flying in to get that ball. Point goes to Michigan.
We talked about these teams, that they would be defensive oriented. They do not give up on a ball defensively. These teams really pursue everything.